Great morning, great morning, great morning. I am Nicole D. Jones, and I am just happy and grateful for another day. I'm happy and grateful for life. I say it every week. I don't take days for granted. I don't take life for granted. I don't take you for granted. And I'm going to remind you that you are healthy, you are wealthy, and you are prosperous. Everything your hands go to touch, it must, it shall, and it will manifest, prosper, and grow great things because you are great. You are created out of greatness. You are created out of perfection. Your true self, the true you, is great and perfect. Through this journey, we're striving for perfection, okay? We are walking out our purpose. That is why through the journey, it is not an expectation for you to be perfect, but it is an expectation for you to keep striving for perfection. It's an expectation for us to keep getting up. It's an expectation for us to know that this journey happens for me. It happens for us. It does not happen to us. Okay. So we are dual citizens at minimum. All right. We're kingdom before we are our citizenship here, okay? Kingdom citizenship is your true DNA. We're triune beings. Why do I keep saying this? Because I want us really to understand who we are and whose we are, all right? This flesh, this third layer of us is not our true self. We're spirit with soul wrapped in this flesh with purpose. Our original DNA manifesting itself here naturally is because it is purpose. You are purpose. Your life is purpose. Okay. We are not looking for purpose. We are purpose. We are looking to perfect our purpose through this journey. That's why we strive for perfection. So we're looking to understand the spirit of us. Okay. That's why I keep saying on this Meal Prep Monday that I want us to tap into our true self. I want us to be the best version of us unapologetically. How do we do that? We do it in a posture of submission to Jehovah God. As we submit, we then live out our true self, and that is in a posture of humility. Okay. It's never arrogant, it's never proud, but it is confident. It is not moved. Okay. Totally different. But it's something that we have to be intentional to do. We have to be intentional to do it. It's hard for us to follow things we see. So how much harder is it to follow things we don't see? But we are not seen. That is our true self. All right. So it's Meal Prep Monday. And you guys know I can't be anything but an open book. And I have come to realize that all I do is live my journey out in a space that I know will help someone. If it doesn't help anyone, it helps me. It helps me myself because it's an opportunity for me to do what I believe I'm purposed to do, and that's just share. All right. Our life is a testimony. Our journey is a testimony because this life is simple. Okay. But what's simple to do is also simple not to do. It's the journey that feels like it complexes, but what it does is it perfects. Okay. So Meal Prep Monday. And you guys know I've been telling you, and the situations that I've faced or I'm facing or walking through is still what it is. Like, but I know victories at the end of it. So every week I'm getting stronger. Every week, peace is getting wider. I'm allowing my capacity to be stretched so that there's more territory that'll be taken. Okay. So that's all that's happening. But I want to stay in the vein of our true self versus our false self. Okay. You guys know I'm counting it all joy, every trial and tribulation. Doesn't matter what I'm going through. The situations come and go. At the end of the day, I'm hoping that people can see the progress and the process and the pruning and be encouraged to continue to walk out your journey. All right. So this week, I want us to focus on continuing our true self versus our false self. If you missed it, please go to last week. If you totally clueless what I'm talking about, look over the last month. I know, I stopped counting the days of trial and I'm starting to rejoice in the movement ahead. I'm intentional over the next about 21 days now to just celebrate the victory that's on the other side of this crushing season. Okay. So when we're looking at our true self or we're tapping into our true self, when I speak about your true self, I am just speaking about your original DNA, who God has truly created you to be when he wrote out your journey. Okay. God literally wrote out our journey and then he created earth. From the beginning to the end, he wrote out our journey. He wrote out our purpose. So when I talk about going into our true self, and when I talk about pulling from inward out, I'm talking about the triune being that we are and learning how to walk through this journey with our first step pulling from our spirit, not our flesh. All right. So I want us to keep doing that. And at this point, I want to kind of explain it. All right. Because when we learn how to do that, it actually grows our emotional intelligence and our relational intelligence. Okay. It grows that because as we're through this journey, we are evolving and we're walking out our purpose and we're growing. Okay. We grow emotionally, we grow relationally, we grow intelligently, so we're doing these different things. So when we're intentional, when we're going through something to learn how to pull from inward out, what we have to do first and foremost is stay connected to Jehovah God. All right. How do we do that? We pray. What is prayer? We just talking. We're talking to him. We're in communication. We're in relationship with him. Okay. You must do that. If you can call me or your homie and talk to them, how do you get closer to that person? It's the more conversation you have, the more you get to know about one another. All right. So to be able to stay connected, you have to have conversation. And what's amazing is it should really increase your faith to know your spirit because he does talk back. You'll learn you don't have to have an audible voice like we have, but it's learning that peace. I keep telling y'all, you got to learn that feeling. Then that's what you go after. So when I about communication and communing or staying connected to God, well, as you talk to him, you may not get an audible response. Okay. I've only heard God's voice once, maybe twice, and it was when he was checking me. I have not heard the audible in like this land of lilies and daisies and wonderful whatevers. It was a check. Like I literally heard my name, like Nicole. Okay. So I don't know if I want to hear him audibly, but when I say prayer and communication, that's what I'm talking about. All right. But I need us to get outside of the human box that we have. Okay. Communication, talking, relationship we got to get past looking for this audible. All right. How do you communicate with someone who's deaf? Or how do you communicate with someone with special needs? You still communicate with them. So break out of that box. All right. So we got to stay connected. All right. We got to stay. This is the thing. When we stay connected, it helps us emotionally. All right. When you're willing to stay connected, you learn how to control yourself. Self control is the best control to have. All right. We cannot control one another. We've talked about that. All right. So self control is the best control to have. How we walk in that is we got to learn how to control our emotions, because emotions are tied to our flesh. Okay. The more you talk with God, it's almost like having that person in your life that keeps you rooted and balanced. All right. So I can think of someone right now that when I go left, like she pulls me in. She helps me stay rooted and balanced. Okay. Y'all know. I mean, Siamata is the first one who comes to my life or my mind. But if I'm honest with you all, in this season, I don't have a Siamata. Siamata is a phone call away, but Siamata don't pick up when I need her the most. But I'm now understanding it's not that she didn't pick up because she didn't want to. God strategically had where she wouldn't be available because he needs to be my number one call in this season. All right. I was just speaking with a sister of mine yesterday. Excuse me. I told her, I reached out to her yesterday because last week, well, no, I talked to her yesterday. I reached out to her one day last week because in my processing, that day I was very weak. Like to the point where I felt like I couldn't talk to God. So I wanted her to pray because I know she can. She get behind the veil. Everyone can't do that. And she didn't pick up. And then when she called me back, I didn't feel released to answer. Okay. So in my brokenness, I'm like, man, geez. But I was able to tell her yesterday, I recognize, and through those days, God showed me like, I didn't let her pick up because I need you to call on me. Well, I wasn't strong enough. At least that's what I felt. But he's never afar. Okay. And that's what I learned. So even when I felt naturally depleted, he's right there. And even in that, because life happens for me, everything is strategic. It drew me closer. All right. So I want y'all to know that we got to stop looking for these things naturally because we're supernatural. We're supernatural in a natural place. Our first thought is usually to try to appease the flesh, but we have to understand that even when the flesh is not appeased, that God is still with us. He never leaves us. He never forsakes us. He knows exactly what we need. And we're in a season that we need to step up. All right. It's a season of crushing, but it's the flesh that's going to crush and die. But your soul is going to be fed from your spirit. So we rise up. Okay. So what is it? Stay connected. All right. Because staying connected, it allows you to become more aware. You're more intentional about your emotions, and it allows you to choose wisely how you respond. Because now we're not making all these emotional decisions. Okay. I'm talking about us walking out our true self. Our true self is not emotional. Our true self is spiritual. All right. What else do we need to do? As we're learning to pull inward out, because remember, the only battlefield, the only place we're battled is in the mind. Okay. I feel like I'm teaching today. All right. The only place we're battled is in our mind. Okay. When we learn to pull inward out, we learn how to take those thoughts captive that do not mean us no good. Period. Okay. Period. What do I mean? It means us no good. It profits us nothing. It grows us nowhere. It enlarges us nowhere. What are those thoughts? Anything negative and foul? any negative or foul response we would do. See, when we're pulling from our true self and we're talking to our creator, okay? We're talking to our original DNA creator. Yes, we had a mom and dad that brought us here, that got us here naturally, but the creator of our true self, as we're talking to him and we're learning him, when we begin to unravel the mysteries of our Abba, our Father, we learn more about us because we're peculiar and set apart for purpose. All right. There's no clone of you. There is no duplicate of you. You are an original, and you're going to walk it out unapologetically. Right. So here's the thing. It allows us to start transforming our thoughts. I told y'all, when we have a negative thought or a depleted thought, when we don't look at ourselves in our best, right? Spending time and knowing who we really are, we learn how to switch it. That is why affirmations is good. Start with the things that you're fighting yourself with. Whatever's battling in your mind that is negative, I'm not pretty. I'm so happy and grateful now that beauty is in the eye of the withholder. Even if you don't want to believe it about yourself, who looking at you? I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm pretty from the inside and it'll show out. Okay? When we start pulling in, because self-sabotage is like, it's the worst. Because if you defeat yourself, no one else has to do it. All right? So, inward out, okay? How does this help us emotionally? We won't get stuck in toxic emotions. All right? So, we're learning to be our true self. We're not going to walk in our false self. We're learning our original DNA. We're talking to God. We're talking to our creator. And then when we know that the only battlefield is the mind, when these battles start coming in our mind, the more we talk to him, the less we live in our toxic emotions. What are toxic emotions? Anything that ain't good for you. All right. Listen, then once we know how to take the thought captive, we can walk it out. All right. We can walk out who we are. What do I mean by that? You're walking in a posture of submission and humility. Okay. You're not walking around offended. You're not walking around angry. You're not walking around mad. All right. Your true self is humble, is loving, is peaceful, has empathy and compassion. It's not a punk. Okay. Just because you can tap into your true self does not mean you're weak. You're actually stronger. The strongest posture you can have is serving. Okay. I'm going to touch that. When we're in this place, we can learn how to listen. Okay. A lot of things happen with us because we don't know how to listen. A lot of misunderstandings is because we don't know how to listen. We don't know how to talk to each other, and we don't know how to hear each other. We're so guarded. We always want to make our point. But what if we could just get into a posture where our point is pointless if it's not glorifying, if it's not growing, if it's not enhancing? Can we die to ourselves to that place? You know that's your true self. So the answer to that question really is yes. Woo. What does that mean? We know how to surrender. What does that mean? We know how to grow in humility. We know how to adapt. We know how to withdraw. Situations come and go. Can you be that true you that even in the midst of chaos, you're not moved? You're not a part of the problem? You can look at it and be like, but be able to leave it there so that you're not walking out judgment. Y'all know we all judge, right? Y'all know that, right? I don't judge nobody. Indeed, you do. You have a first thought. We can't help it. That's how we're created. Something is going on. Y'all don't want to call it judgment. Okay, I'm gonna call it your first thought, your opinion. All right. Where it becomes dangerous is when you walk out that judgment. You do something in front of me. Am I going to judge it? Yep. And I'm saying that because I'm going to have a thought. But am I going to walk out judgment with you? No, I am very intentional not to, because there's only one judge. All right. So that's like me becoming the judge of your situation. That's when I'm wrong. But if you sit up here, run out my front door, and go in my yard and get butt naked and think I ain't gonna judge that, I'll be like, and depending on why you did it is gonna determine what I think. Okay, hear me. But am I gonna judge you and be like, that she's this or she's that, or you did this and then I start treating you like that? That's the judgment we don't have the authority to do. But if we're known by the fruit that we bear, then you better make a judgment call. When you go to the grocery store and you're picking out cucumbers, do you not have to make a judgment call? You gotta examine the fruit. When we learn to do it from our true self, we don't do it condemning. We don't do it damaging. But we must do it. But we are not the ultimate judge. Does that make sense? I hope so. Because I am not saying that we are God, big G. But what I am saying is we're little gods, and we got to walk in wisdom. We got to walk in knowledge, and we got to walk in understanding. Don't get caught up on the words, y'all. All right? This life is simple. Okay? So don't go around talking about, don't make no meme of me. You talking about I said you judge, we supposed to judge. Nicole said listen, you better judge that fruit, but you do not have the authority to walk in judgment with someone. That's like, no, deal with that plank in your eye, not the speck, while homegirl ran out my house butt naked. Okay? Y'all get it. All right. Sorry. But when we're coming from our true self, we learn how to do these things, and we do it in a level of maturity. Okay? How do you know you're growing? How do you know you're walking in true self? There should be some maturity. There should be a level of growth that we see. Okay? And it's necessary in this time. We're being crushed. We're weathering storms. We want to do it looking and focused on the victory at the end of it. The only way you can do that is to tap into your true self. If not, you'll get caught up in the situation of the crushing, not the reason. Everything, all things work together for my good because I love God. All things work together for you to be the best version of you unapologetically, because you're doing it submitted and humble. You're not arrogant, proud, accusatory, or nothing else. It's Meal Prep Monday. I want us to know what I mean when I say Come to who you are. Tap into the true you. I want you to know that the fruit that's on the and how you judge it, all right, is love, it's peace, it's empathy, it's sympathy, it's compassion, it's peacemaker. Okay? These are the things that we are. So, what do I want y'all to do this week? When something is going on, I want you to be intentional, to pause, to be still. Be still. Psalms 46 and 10. Just be still for a moment and know that he's God. And in knowing, go on and talk to him so that you can stay in a place where you're starting to pull from your true self, not from your false self, not from your emotion, but from your spirit. Okay? Try it. What do you have to lose? Because when you pull from your emotions, it usually goes left. When you pull from your emotions, you say things you can't take back. When you pull from your emotions, it ends up in an argument or a fight. So what do you have to lose? You have all to gain, because I guarantee you, I stand 10 toes down. If you don't get nothing else, you will get a peace inside that surpasses your natural understanding, because you're pulling from the true you. All right? I feel like I said a whole lot of words. So it's 10:30. I never want to belabor the time. I'm going to put this up. Please go back and listen to it. I hope that it makes sense. I know that it will make sense. Let me stop that. That self-set this mouth, boy. Season of the mouth, okay? So remember, stay humble, stay focused, and stay positive. Be the best version of you unapologetically, because no one else can do it. Continue to do it submissive and humble, not arrogantly, not proud, and you cannot go wrong. You will live your best life right now if you continue to do that. All right? So I am Nicole D. Jones, and I want you to continue to have a fantabulous rest of the day. Smooches.